Good morning to you and welcome to What's New. This is Nancy Nelson. My name is Warren Martin. We're delighted to have you with us today.
We're going to have a good show ahead. Those of you who've become fans of the David Letterman show over the few months that it's been on the air know that one of his favorite guests is, and I can't do it right, Mrs. Marv Mendenhall. Yeah.
I have a chance to watch this intermittently in the What's New suite, and I think it's a super show. I hope you've had a chance to watch the David Letterman show. He has some great features on there. This is just one of them. I'll give you a little sample of that. Then we step into the kitchen today with an unusual effort on do-it-yourself candy making. And this isn't your ordinary old fudge that you just hope for the best stuff. This is really super elegant and very unique candy. In fact, our guests suggest that if it's weird, they've got it.
We do want to tell you, if you were expecting to see the bird program from the Minnesota Zoological Garden with Steve Martin, the birds flew away. They'll be on later. They will be here,
Migrated?
But not today. Migrated right out.
Say, you're looking particularly good today, Ann. You can look better, but I wouldn't know how.
Warren, you're such a smoothie. I'll let you do the introduction to Joe Casella.
In the absence of vacationing Gil Amundsen, who is out there pulling in the big lunkers all week long, we have Joe Casella. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, and good morning to you, Nancy and Warren. It's sunny right now in the Twin Cities, and it's warm. I'll have storm activity in the greater Twin Cities metropolitan area. Currently in the Twin Cities, under sunny skies, it's a very pleasant 75 degrees. Till now, that's news, weather, and sports. Nancy and Warren?
Thank you, Joe.
In a minute, Mrs. Marv Mendenhall from the David Letterman show.
And still ahead, tips on making unusual candy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Edie McClurg is a writer. She writes comedy. That means it's her job to make us laugh. And unfortunately, when things are said that she has written, nobody says afterwards, by the way, Edie McClurg wrote that. So she wrote something for herself and ended up doing the David Letterman show regularly as Mrs. Marv Mendenhall, and it's nice to meet you.
Well, nice to meet you, Nancy.
The phenomenon you have created with that character is extraordinary. I hear people constantly mimicking you, and I thought the first time I saw it, now is her audience going to love it and laugh along with her, or are they going to be offended because they think she's talking about them?
Well, Mrs. Marv Mendenhall was born about 3 years ago, and Mrs. Marv came out of my past. When I was a young girl in Kansas City, Missouri, I noticed that the mothers of some of my friends had a way of talking. They'd answer the phone as though it were N-Y-E-L-L-O. Yellow. And this cut across the board because they talked to each other. They would answer the phone the same way to each other. And then I listened to my aunts who live just outside Minneapolis, and they have a way of affirming everything I say, you say, they say, with the afterwards, because it's a sympathetic noise that it creeps into the speech without people knowing it.
And therein lies the difference between someone who possesses your talent and makes use of it and someone like me, because I have heard people do those same things all of my life, and I simply never noticed them. That has a whole lot to do with comedy. Of course, you're forcing us to look at ourselves and laugh at ourselves.
It is observational, and it is also, it's eavesdropping and using everything that has happened in the past. There's many of my monologues that I've written, both as Mrs. Marv and other characters that I do, that come straight from my past. And I don't do it intentionally. As I'm living, I don't say, oh, I'm going to use this. It just comes out. It's generic, and it pops up at the most wonderful times, usually. When I'm improvising before a live audience is the best time.
Improvising.
Yes.
A word that, to anyone who has ever acted or stood on a stage or given a speech that they have spent hours working on, strikes terror. Improv means do it now.
Yes, you write on your feet, and you fly by the seat of your pants, and you wonder, is this going to work, for just a fraction of a moment, and then you just plunge ahead, because nothing gained, nothing lost, nothing.
This woman is a writer, ladies and gentlemen.
Writes a lot.
Now, if you draw upon the past for your monologues, for Mrs. Marv and all of
Yes.
those things, at what point does one start to run out of past and have to simply create the new?
As long as I live, I always have a past. And whether it be recent past or distant past, it's all there. Also, I have this very strange theory that David considers from outer space, that I am all the ages I've ever been, and I am all the ages I'm ever going to be. So that not only can I remember what it's been like, but I can also intuit what it's going to be like. That's why I can do myself at the age of 4.
When if was you, and I can, and then I remember. So it says, okay, and then Dad?
Okay, so I can call up that voice that I had when I was 4 years old, or I can relax into the time that I don't have to move or impress anybody, because I've lived long enough to be left alone, you see. So that all of that can happen in all the ages in between. So if it's Oklahoma, Minneapolis, anywhere that I've been, I can call that up at any time.
You may take that for granted, but it's a real treat sitting here and watching that transition quickly happen. I heard you say something earlier that I thought was real nice. Those of us who are in this business and have the privilege of sitting in front of that camera often think that what we're doing is all important on Earth. And I heard you say earlier about the David Letterman show, look, we're not recreating the Bible, we're just
That's right.
having a good time and entertaining.
Yes.
It's a nice perspective to have.
Well, we're creating a gentle diversion for ourselves as well as the viewers. It's a way to pass the time for an hour, maybe learn something, maybe have a good laugh. A lady wrote to me and said, I burned dinner the other night, and I thought I was really in trouble. But then I started thinking about what you'd done that day on the show, and I laughed. And then I thought, so what? Dinner's burned, so what? And what was going to be a bad evening turned out good. And she wrote me a letter to say, just thanks.
How nice you could give her that gift.
Yes.
And how many others,
Well,
myself included.
Thank you.
Edie McClurg, how nice to meet you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you very much. We'll be right back.
Years. It's called Adberry, and this is Barry Gordon, who is half of that Adberry organization. It's located in the Lamplighter Shopping Center in Golden Valley, and there's a little something unique about this in the sense, Barry, that you do not sell the finished product.
No. We sell the supplies that you need. If they're unusual, if we tell you to go out and get caramels or something like that, then you just go to the store and you get them. But if you hear something and say, well, where would I get that? Then you come to our store.
Give me an example of something unusual that you carry.
Oh, okay, if somebody said that you needed a candy mold, you wouldn't know where to go. So you'd go to our store and you'd be able to find something unusual like this. We also have a lot of candy makers items that have until now just been available to professional candy makers.
And that, of course, would turn out turtles, and a little bit later we're going to show you how to do that. Exactly. Let's take a look at some of the other examples
Fine.
of the work that you can tell people how to do and supply them with the products. This is lovely.
Well, we have all the fun different colors that you see here, but this is just a very quick thing to do. You can drop a few almonds in it or some Rice Krispies and you've got a happy birthday card. Weighs about 6 ounces.
And each of the letters are made individually?
Yes.
And
very quickly, you
you're
just
watching
use...
in black and white. Here we have yellow, red, blue, green, pink, all kinds of stuff. This one is one that really impresses me. Beautiful looking box. It looks like it's really chocolate.
You want to take a bite out of the box?
What you're saying is it really is chocolate.
Yes, it really is, and it's a fun thing to give to people. It's you're putting all your good filled candies on the inside, and the final bonus is you can eat the box when you're all done.
And all of these are candies that can be made at home?
Yes, and very few of them are used having to cook anything over the stove. Most of the things are very, very easy, like Bavarian mints, which most people love and think must be very difficult to do.
These are unusual looking, and these are all edible, right?
Right.
In every form and shape here. As we turn this around, we'll give it a little
And every occasion. We've got snowmen and devils and safety pins for new babies and You name it.
Look at these, huh? And these are simple enough that most people can turn them out without trouble?
It truly is something that a very young child can do because you're
Oh,
using
yes?
low heat and all you're doing is pouring into a mold. These are just solid molded. We tell people how to do this when they stop in the shop.
Okay, let's show them right now how to make some turtles. This is a favorite of almost everyone, and they're not
Yes.
inexpensive. But you say these are some that you can turn on
Yes.
very easily.
These are called cheater turtles.
Oh, yes?
And we'll tell you the recipe. It's very, very easy.
Okay, let's have a go at it here. Where do we start?
Fine. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is take a mold like this, and for today I'll just put some of the melted chocolate in one of the cavities. Fill it about a third full, and then you're going to take a shed-proof food brush, and you just want to push it all over and make sure that you get up to the sides.
Okay,
Now you're creating the outer shell, or the top of the turtle.
that's the secret, so they pop out, presumably, right?
Right, exactly. And so that your fillings don't stick. That's super, that really is.
Yeah, I'm really doing good work here. Is that what you're saying? Okay,
Great.
there's my little turtle.
Okay, then you look at it carefully to make sure that you don't have any blank spots.
What about all this extra in the bottom? I don't worry about
And
that, huh?
you can put some of it into the next one if you want.
Okay. It's kind of fun.
Then you fill all of the cavities
Okay,
until it looks like this.
all right,
And I think we'll just go right to this one.
okay.
But the next thing that you would do, pretend that these have not set up yet. That's a candy maker's term that makes you sound very important. Put these in the refrigerator just until they're dull.
Okay, not the freezer, just the bottom part of your
Right,
fridge. Okay.
right. Then, to make the turtles, just went to the store and I bought caramels.
Okay.
And I added whipping cream, and I recooked the entire mixture.
Okay.
And I've got Crisco on the plate. Now, Warren, take a whole bunch of the Crisco and put it on as if you were putting hand lotion
Okay,
on.
is this fun? This is the part I've been looking forward to. You say this is important to really rub this in, huh?
Right.
Okay.
And then take a slice of that gooey caramel and just press it around in the body.
Okay. Do you want to open up the cellophane for me? I'm going to get that all
Sure.
full of grease for you there. Probably should have done that before I put my Crisco on, huh? You need Crisco, or what about cooking oil or something like that?
I imagine that would work. I've always used the Crisco.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is
now what do I
just like you had just cooked it and worked very hard for a couple of hours.
do? Okay, now I just take this and push it in there?
Push it in to the cavity and make sure
Oops, I
that...
think I got a little too much there, huh?
Right. You're
like so?
very good at this.
Okay.
Push it into his head and into his feet so that you get a real good bite.
Okay. What about all this Crisco on there? What happens to that?
You just simply don't notice it.
Oh,
That's about what happens.
That looks like fun. Huh.
Okay, then we would want to push this in a little bit
Oh,
because
okay.
we want to make sure again.
Didn't like the way I did that. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, I liked it.
Okay. You lie a lot, but I love it. Okay, let's keep going there till you get that little baby full, right?
Right.
Now what? After I presume you've done all of these.
Now, you just take some more of your coating.
Yeah. Okay.
Going to spoon a little bit on the top of each one. And again, you'd fill your whole tray.
Mm-hmm.
And you take your candy brush again, and you seal the top.
Okay. Where do these go then? Back in the refrigerator?
This
What's
time
that?
we're going to put them in the refrigerator, and excuse me, in the freezer, until they're hard and cold. And then they're ready to come out.
Okay, well, we were not entirely sure that mine would come out. So what we actually have done is pop some in
It's
there
cheap.
earlier.
Here's some that we did earlier.
Okay, how do these come out now?
Well, I like to take some sort of a board, back of a pan, whatever, because sometimes they fall right out. Flip it over. You want to flip?
Sure.
Just as you would a cake.
Okay, there we are.
And
Oh,
lift
they
your
did. They
mold,
popped right out.
And
Very
they will
simple.
fall right out.
Okay. We did not show you all the different varieties of stuff that are, in fact, available from Adbury, located in Golden Valley. And that's located in the Lamplighter Shopping Center. And it's really been fun to have you with us.
Well,
Thanks a lot.
now I feel at home.
I appreciate you taking time to
Thank
come and
you.
join us today. If you'd like some information or stop by there, you can call 546, and the number just disappeared, but you, I hope, caught it.
4088.
Okay, thanks again, Barry.
Thank you.
So that was really fun. The only thing I'm sorry about is I haven't had a chance to eat any yet, but I'm going to jump on those right away.
Well, I just happen to have one right here.
Oh, clever.
I don't
Clever,
know
Nancy
that I'm
Nelson.
going to share, but I
Well, why don't you go ahead and put that in your mouth, and that'll take care of you for the rest of the show,
I wanted
right?
to say another thing.
Say thanks very much for joining us. Tomorrow, we have something kind of unusual coming up. We're going to interview a four-legged guest.
We are Boomer, of course, star of NBC's Boomer, and he is just a doll. And then we're going to do a little foot stomping.
Say, this is a brand new feature we're going to introduce to you here on What's New that I think you're going to find fun. The Arthur Murray dancers are completely in costume. We went out on location to give you a little sample of the kind of dancing that can be achieved. They did some of the numbers from Urban Cowboy. And a new feature we're starting right here. You can contact us by mail. Tell us why you would like to have some free dance lessons from Arthur Murray. They'll teach you a great dance. You'll do your number right here on What's New.
I think we'll have a good time at it. You have a nice day. We'll see you tomorrow on What's New.